What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Dustin and we love to do a little bit of fabrication around here. If it's your first time joining me on the channel, well, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell because we'd love to have you as part of this community. We've got about 300 uploads on this channel. We love to talk all about bow fishing, welding, fabrication, boats, wiring, all kinds of crazy stuff. So if you want to learn something, you better stick around. Today we're talking about Harbor Freight. Just plain and simple, Harbor Freight. I love the store. Sometimes quality is great. Sometimes the quality is good enough. Sometimes it's not. I just thought I would take a little tour around my shop and give you a handful of tools that I totally approve of and would recommend all of you guys buy, whether it be for Father's Day this weekend or you're building your shop like me so you can be able to do more things. So if y'all are shopping for Dad, stay tuned. We're going to gear this all kind of towards the fabricator, the tinkerer, the guy who loves to work on stuff in his garage. And you already know that those people, including yourself, may not be an extreme professional, so we need all the help we can get, right? All these products are going to help you be just a little bit better for a small investment, and that's the great thing about Harbor Freight that allows you to get a lot of tools for a small shop. First off, if you're a welder, fabricator, or want to learn, I highly recommend that you pick up this right here. This is a welding blanket, okay? It's not a big one, it's like a 6x8, but if I'm welding over here, and like I don't have my settings or my gun angle just right, it's going to produce splatter. Well, that splatter can ruin a project or a brand new shiny piece of metal, or let's say there's carpet right there. Well, I can take this weld blanket and lay over top of it, okay? It's heavy, it's going to lay down. I can go ahead and weld my bead, and any splatter that's going to come off of that is going to go into the weld blanket. That fire retardant material is going to save the project. Small investment, it's going to make you look better. As far as making you look better, to begin with, we all want entry level with professional results, and that's kind of, yeah, you know how that works, right? So I've got a blue machine down there, I've got a red machine over there, and this orange machine from Harbor Freight's been around for about 2 years. Vulcan entered the market, and after not being there too long, this ProTig 200 received a cease and desist order from Lincoln Electric. One of the technologies in here that was Lincoln specific, anyway, they discontinued the 200 and re-released it as a 205 to get around that cease and desist order. So I recommend Vulcan welders because they keep up. I've not had an issue, and you know, if you do have an issue, Harbor Freight's got one of the best warranties there is around. On a large item like this, go ahead and buy the extended warranty, that 2 or 3 year deal based on the model. Just a little bit of peace of mind. If something ever were to happen, you can say, look, I had a problem with it. They'll take it back, no questions asked. That's one of the great things about Harbor Freight. So let's go ahead and look at a bunch of other things around this shop because my shop's full of them. Okay, ladies, before we get into number 3, I would like to request that all of you go and subscribe to the channel because I've got 5,000 subscribers in this channel and only like 1% of them are female. Like, I ain't that bad to look at, am I? So if you never come back again, that's okay. Just hit the subscribe box. It really helps my numbers. All right, thank you. So, this is a rivet gun. A pneumatic rivet gun, okay? And if you rivet anything or very many rivets at all, this saves so much time. Like I just did like 200 rivets the other day, and it's as easy as pulling the button and pulling the blank out, and you're done. You're ready to go on the next one. So, okay, so number 3, rivet gun, pneumatic, pretty cheap. Number 4 is a handheld rivet gun, and usually comes in a kit that you can buy rivets for, okay? small stuff, whatever. You can use rivets on lots of things, girls, from 16th to 8th inch, 3/16, and all the way up to 1/4 inch. And I'm telling you, if you do 1/4 inch rivet, this tool is worth it. All right. So number 5 is going to be broad safety equipment. This is my shop. This is what I do. I love to build things with my hands. And I only have 2 of them, and I only have 2 eyes, and I only have this beautiful beard, and I want to save it. So, safety equipment. Here's number 5, a face shield. I started grinding on some stuff, using a wire wheel to clean stuff up so I could weld, all right, with a wire wheel, number 6. This wire wheel I refer to as a death wheel because once it begins to deteriorate, all these tiny little wire bullets will hit you and stick into you. And if you're not wearing a full face shield, number 5, then that could possibly hit you in the face. And it hurts a lot. So, like, I don't care if you're mowing the yard, if you're running a weed eater, if you're changing the oil on something rusty, and there could be stuff fall down into your face. This is a lifesaver. Like 15 bucks, get a couple of them. Number 7. Are we on 7 or 8? Anyway, gloves. Just gloves, okay? There's lots of gloves, lots of uses, lots of specific uses. This mechanic's glove is padded on the back and kind of keeps your knuckles from looking like mine do all the time, all right? Leather gloves, full leather gloves for welding. You don't want anything plastic or anything rubber on them, okay? They will deter heat, but if you're working on something that's hot, that plastic will melt, and then you've got plastic on what you're welding on. So if you're looking for a welding glove, make sure it is 100% leather. Let's go into clamps. Now, ladies, hopefully you're still here. It's only been a few minutes. Hopefully I haven't run you off yet. You know when your husband and you had an argument and he brought you flowers or sent flowers to your work? This is our flowers, girls. If you come home after an argument or you just want him to know that you love him, come home with a bouquet of clamps. Now, all joking aside, every man who builds things needs clamps. Look, I've only got 2 hands. I can't hold shit and weld it or bolt in and or drill it or whatever. I need clamps. Not just one size. Not just one brand, not just one flavor. 5-inch C-clamp. Deep throat 3x4 C-clamp. 2.5-inch C-clamp. Okay. Bar clamp. Okay, you can get these in like 6 inches, 12 inches, 18 inches, 2 feet, 3 feet long. Okay. Long's not always good this time, girls. Okay, because sometimes you can't get this in a tight spot. So, multiple clamps. These are like $4, $5, $8 a piece, girls. We don't care. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you were just thinking about me on your way home, and you stopped and you spent $8 on me. Like, I'm happy. Like, you are my best friend, and thank you. Like, I feel so much better now because I've got one more of these, which is one more helping hand in my shop. And this is where I love to be, so every time I grab that, I'm going to think about you, and it... Thank you. Thank you. But let's move on into tools. Like, I'm trying to stay calm. Let's go into tools. So, if you work on anything electrical, there's a handful of things that you need, okay? A decent pair of electrical pliers, all right, that you can crimp and you can strip wires with, okay? Great tool. But let's step it up. Let's say you are going to work on something a little more heavy duty, all right? Battery terminals, okay? You're building a hot rod, you're making a racing lawnmower, working on a jet boat, rock crawler, whatever. You need to make your own battery terminals. And how we do that is, okay, this ain't a Harbor Freight tip, but like Amazon or whatever, get yourself a lug set, all right? Save some money there. Quality wire, and this tool right here. This is a hydraulic crimping tool. This is man stuff. This is 2 tons of gripping pressure that allows you to grip and squeeze and make a solid crimp connection. It's like this times 100, literally. So you can buy this, okay, or you can buy that and give yourself the flexibility to build whatever type of this that you need, like for the rest of your life, because that's an awesome tool. Moving on, you cannot ever have enough tools. Like, as you can see, I don't have very much space, but I'm gaining tools. Bauer Tools. Now, girls, one thing very important. Go to your husband's shop. I know he said for you never to go in there, but look at his tools. Now, if they're red, you're halfway there. But make sure, like, if it says Bauer, you're good to go. If it says Milwaukee, pump the brakes. You come home with Bauer Tools when he's a Milwaukee guy, then, yeah, that's kind of like him bringing home a purse from JCPenney's when you collect coaches, all right? Am I talking to you? You understand what I'm saying? All right, so Bauer Tools are awesome, but not everybody loves them, all right? Here's why I love them. This hammer drill is like 50 bucks, okay? That's cheap, right? This regular drill that doesn't have the hammer feature is like 40 bucks, okay? Cheaper. This 1/4-inch drill driver is like $35 or $40. Cheap, right? Okay. The beauty about Bauer Tools is you can buy one individual thing without having to buy the battery, the charger, the tool, the 14 other things that you don't need because you've got them all already. Batteries are sold individually and typically not with the tool, which is great. That's freedom. That means that you can buy one piece at a time and be golden. Now, before we review some of the tools that I have and love, let's look at batteries, because batteries is very important. Just looking at the battery, you can tell this smaller battery is 1.5 amps, and that's fine for your drill driver or light duty stuff. But if you're running some of these other tools and you need the added power, then you need a larger battery. Now, the 3 amp and the 5 amp are virtually the same dimension. So make sure that you're buying the 5 amp. Since they're the same size, you probably ought to get 40% more power out of it, right? Yes, it's a little more expensive, but the 5 amp battery really sets these tools off, especially these larger ones. Excuse me. Like this unit right here. Now, this is a Bauer chainsaw. Now, if you've seen my review of the Bauer chainsaw, I've been called everything short of a fairy. That's not a tool. You're not a man. That is just a child's toy. Well, I'm here to tell you, this child's toy can cut a lot of stuff. And, like, I don't have to get my, $1,000 two-stroke Husqvarna chainsaw down and mix fuel and make sure that the blade's sharp and all that stuff. I can beat the crap out of this $100 tool and get a replacement blade and run a 5-inch battery, and like chances are around my food plots, around my yard, I need to cut up a pallet to burn or something, then yeah, man, I love it. Here's some more Bauer tools that I love, as well as the drills and all this stuff. All right, let's step into some corded things. This is what I call a speed saw. It's small, nimble, lightweight, easy to use. It does lack a little bit of power for my needs. As you can see, my primary material is aluminum, which takes lots of amps, okay? But if you're working with wood, if you're working with small stuff, framing something, it's a good saw. It's handy, it's easy to use. It's fairly safe. Pretty cheap too. Like I've got lots of stuff. Let's just dig into it. So if you are specifically working on large equipment and need to run a large saw, like this Bauer Portaband that has a 5-inch throat and can cut through 3 by 4 inch rectangular tube or 5-inch C-channel in one pass, then this is the tool for you. No, seriously, I love these. $100, and you can get the blades at Harbor Freight pretty cheap. All right, anytime you're there, just like pick up one. But I also, like, I have 2 of those. I have that one, and then, like, come with me. Let's take a field trip. Hi, how you doing? Hi, my name's Dustin. What's your name? Like, leave in the comments and say hi. This, like, you can get these kits. Okay, I built this. This is the Portaband, obviously, but I made it into a table that makes it kind of a bandsaw. And to go along with that, I actually bought the foot control. Okay, and just to keep it off the shop, I mounted it on there so it's kind of push button. Yeah, that foot control can actually be bought at Harbor Freight as well. Okay, balance right there, phone. We're getting along really well. Like, you can't go wrong with Bauer Tools, honestly. I've got over there in the corner, oh hell, let's just go back on another field trip and go in the corner and see what else I've got. So, okay, here is an impact, like 450 foot-pounds of torque. Here is a 4-inch angle grinder. Pretty handy where you can't get power or don't want to be dragging an extension cord. This is pretty cool too. This is a heat gun. Yeah, a heat gun that runs off batteries. Now, it's not quite as efficient as a plug and play, 110 volt unit, but like it works. Heat shrink tubing? Yeah, man. The 5-amp battery, by the way, 5-amp battery. Okay. And then I got a couple chargers. So I have 2 chargers and I have 3 3-amp batteries, 1 5-amp battery and 1 1.5-amp battery. So I'm a Bauer fan. I really am. Okay, stay there. So after all of that Bauer fan club jargon, let's step into something else. You can see the lights in my shop. Very important. You can't work on what you can't see. I've got a 4-foot shop light, LED shop light over my workbench here, which is pretty adequate. But I have 8-foot LED bars all over the shop. I actually have 10 of them, and I can't remember. They were like 48 watts or something. Pretty cool. Low cost to turn the switch on and leave it on all day. Okay, low power consumption is what we're getting at. It's good stuff. Like, if your significant other's shop is sucking and you can't see crap, buy a half a dozen of those and yeah, they'll thank you. If you don't want to go that route, this little LED shop light, all right, it's a plug and play. They actually make, I believe Bauer has one actually. Might be a cool little tool to have as well. I'm going to put that on my list. I think I'll probably buy one. But having lighting and being able to put it where you want it, where you need it right then, that versatility is priceless. So, boys and girls, what haven't we talked about? How about moving heavy stuff, right? You can see I've got chain hoists up there, okay? You can get those at Harbor Freight. Even though it's a little rough and a little beat up, there is a 3-ton jack, the wide model. Right? That wider model allows you to be a little safer in wide surfaces. This is my 20-ton shop press. We'll turn off the backlighting here. 20-ton shop press that I have upgraded to an air-driven system. You see I've got my my air squeeze right here. Yeah. Turn the air on. Give it a little power. All right. And I can release it right there. And yeah, that's awesome. Also, outside, while we're talking about air, get a little quieter. The air tools at Harbor Freight, hey man, it's good stuff too. So I have a dryer. This allows me to run dry air right here. All right. Little regulator system allows me to change the pressure on my shop line as well as the pressure on this line. But as you see, the line goes through the wall. On the outside, I also have a 35-gallon central pneumatic air compressor. I've been shopping at Harbor Freight for a long time. Harbor Freight has provided my shop with adequate tools to be able to perform the task that I wouldn't have been able to perform before, and made it low cost for me to have all of this stuff. And I appreciate that. So let's wrap the video up. Say farewell. Please hit the subscribe box on your way out. We are cresting 5,000, and ladies, if you stuck around this long, well, we're practically going out at this point. Just don't tell my wife. Y'all stay safe. Shoot straight, shoot often. Don't forget to wear your personal flotation devices while you're out on the water. Tell somebody where you're going, and always, always wear your PPE. Y'all have a wonderful Father's Day weekend, and hey, I'll see you on the next one. Appreciate you stopping in.